All right, I got a little bit of time on this hot, steamy Sunday morning, and I'm going to get some ideas out of my head while I got a couple of moments of free time before the day kicks off officially. And I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm just I don't necessarily know if it's brainstorming, but maybe, see, I had this, I can see it. Would see this completed image in my head, and I'm going to try to get to that image that I had seen in my head, but I won't get there. I'll come to something close, but I can't ever get it exact, and I don't know why. It's kind of like trying to remember a dream or all the details in a dream. Sort of, I guess. But you can see this is already full of tropes. We got dome cities rising up on pillars to create some kind of cityscape. The one thing I was leaving out, I guess, was the ground. So the dome cities or whatever, the structures form a forest, and these ships were flying through. Originally, I saw sort of mechanical bugs and maybe bug-looking cruise ships or spaceships or some kind of vehicle. That's what I ended up doing here, just throwing some jet engines on them. Even though they wouldn't fly. For real, probably not. Maybe they would if they go fast enough. Put a big enough engine on anything, you get a brick to fly, right? So the expression goes. But that is it. I end up taking a snapshot of this. Just taking a picture of it with the camera on the back of the computer to get it in to Clip Studio Paint, and I end up just blasting through some color. And I will revisit this maybe, or at least I'll have it in my library of images to revisit if I wanted to refine it or keep working it. Because that'll happen from time to time, where an old idea will spark the interests, or I'll see something in it that I didn't see when I finished it at the time, and I'll turn it into a larger effort or project. But that's all we're up to here. Trying to get those structures under the dome has always been a challenge. I don't quite know would you want, towers or houses or just block forms, stack cubed housing. They got this interesting thing they're doing around these parts now where they're stacking up shipping containers and making restaurants out of them. And cafes and little hangout places. And though I've never been to them, I've just driven on by. Alright. And I already kind of had that background sort of filled up. Wasn't sure, like I said, I wasn't even sure I was going to go this far with it for having a limited amount of time. And with that sketch, a lot of times with the sketches, I can't even tell what I was doing when I'm coloring it in, because it doesn't translate so well into any kind of actual form or shape. So I'm just making it up. A lot of times I'm filling in the dark shade spots to give it that shade to maybe present some kind of actual form there, or random surfaces. Oh, I just noticed that camera on the back of the computer takes 300 dpi images. Fantastic. How did I never know that? Now this thing's starting to become a little clear, maybe. There we go. sometimes my goal is just to see how much of it I can get it to how close I can get it to some kind of realized image without spending a super duper amount of time on it. And then if it fails, I'm just going to put it away. And the green is kind of a nice contrast to the cool background. I guess green is still in the realm of the cool colors, but it pops better, or it pops against that blue. I had a whole bunch of other, what I call my disposable sketches. I have so many of these quick and dirty little projects floating on this computer, on my old computer, on thumb drives, on removable hard drives. I try to organize them every so often, but I don't know, I give up. And then I have a newer version on computer A and an older version on computer B, and I'm using computer B as my source of truth, so I overwrite it with a older version or something. It just turns into a mess. So just kind of leave it alone. If I remember it, I go find it and try to work it. So yeah, I'm disorganized. Should probably whip up a simple server. Just put some big hard drives on there and use it as the storage library. Knowing my luck, it would crash. Then I'd have to back that up, and I'd have to keep track of all those backups, and on and on. Life is terrible. It's very difficult. I'm working real hard to keep from spinning that image around on the computer with my fingers because it's touch sensitive, and that can blow your mind when these things are sped up, or at least me they do. They're gonna have to put a seizure warning on there because the image is just flickering and twisting and spinning around. All right, get some jets on the back of this baby. This one too. And it might be an interesting and cool project to do that background in 3D, because of course those buildings with their simple geometry would lend themselves nicely to some 3D geometry, and just do a toon renderer on it, or a Yucca paint or texture paint on there, and try to emulate that painterly look. That might be kind of fun, actually, now that I think about it. And then just actually straight up draw those ships over the top of the 3D background. I think we are coming to the end of our space voyage here. And if you stuck around this long, thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate it.